What up, Lock Nation? It is so good to see your beautiful faces. Man, I just want to take a photo really quickly and just say how amazing you are. But you already know how amazing you are. But let's just get right into it. So, this is the 18 to 55 millimeter lens. This is one that I've been using for quite some time. I use it for a lot of the photo shoots that I do. And then this is the Nifty 50. If I can get the words out of my mouth, Nifty 50, 18 to 55 millimeters. Well, as you can tell, I get a little tongue tied when I get excited about this kind of stuff because I'm very passionate about this. And so in today's video, we're going to be comparing and contrasting the two, really just more or less comparing, not really contrasting. But without further ado, let's get out in the field and let's go take some great shots. All right, so we are here. The guy that's helping me with this part, he's helped me a lot. I have to give a shout out to him. His name's Kildare. Kildare, if you want to flip the camera around and say hello to people, no, but he doesn't want to. He's camera shy, which is kind of funny because he also has his own YouTube channel. But anyway, he's here helping me film this.
It's all about you, buddy. It's all about you.
Thanks, buddy. But we were talking a few weeks ago, me and him, since he's one of my best friends, and he's like, talking head videos are great. And as you saw from the very beginning of this video, I'm in my office. I was talking about, the difference between the 18 to 55 millimeter lens, which is this one right here, and then the Nifty 50, which we'll bring out here soon. And so, talking head videos are great, and people love them. But he also made the point is like people like having boots. They like seeing videos with boots on the ground.
Yeah.
Boots on the ground. And so here we are. We're at this park. We've been here before. Quite a few times. And this is where we did the gear review part 2 a long time ago. Back when I was still a noob. So as I pointed out, this is the 18 to 55 millimeter lens. I use this lens quite a bit. This thing, I have it on the autofocus. You can do manual focus. I prefer autofocus. That's just how I am. I'll scoot back a little so you're not like all up in the face or whatever. Honestly, it's a great lens to start out with. But the lens that I really want to get to, and is to meet the potatoes, is the Nifty 50. Like I said, we're going to be bringing it out here soon. But first of all, if you haven't already, start practicing in manual mode. You can see from right here, it's that big M, that means manual. But I know that there's going to be a few of you that are probably new photographers and new to this kind of field. You're like, oh crap, what's manual? It's intimidating, I'm not going to lie, it is intimidating. And so just kind of start getting a feel for it. I'm going to be coming out with a video on how to, showing you the ropes of how to really manage manual mode, because I was intimidated by it at first, and I was actually using the AV setting for the longest time, which that's great, but it kind of limits your pixels, it limits your capabilities with your photos, and it limits how how big you can blow up your photos. So anyway, let me take off this lens cap because got to make sure that's off. So right now I'm just gonna be taking a few shots. Let's see here. I did see a shot earlier I kind of wanted to get a shot of. Got to be a little patriotic, right? Just gonna take a shot of the American flag right here. And so here, I'll take my camera off my jacket. So you can see, like, this is what it looks like right now. That's pre-editing. And actually, this will actually turn out to be a really cool shot. Like, this is one that I would probably even want to put on like a stock photo website. We have some people walking by, it's fine. But yeah, it's gonna be a great shot. And then from there, let's go over here. How are you guys? Now, if you know me, you know that I love dogs. As you can see from my pant legs, they're covered in dog fur. I have a husky, he sheds, he's a great dog, and I love him. But I'm just gonna get a few shots of this statue right here. See how good my balance is. Okay, so obviously, you know, it's really nice. My settings were good on my f-stops and my ISO and all that. It was great. You know, the white balance was on point. I can even zoom in. You can see that there, once I take this into Lightroom and Photoshop, that it'll actually be really good. It'll be a great video. It'll be a great photo. So we're gonna go back to the office here for a sec, and I'm gonna talk to you about like the difference, and I'm gonna show you the finished products of these shots I just took with the 18-55mm lens, and then we're gonna come back to where we are right now, and we're gonna pick up with the Nifty 50 lens, which I know that's the reason why you got into this video.
All right, so let's take a look at how these turned out. To me personally, I think they turned out fantastic. You can be your own judge of character, but to me personally, like, they worked and turned out fantastic. Now, keep in mind, I did use some presets on these that I have already, you know, made in the past, and that's something that I might even put up for sale in the future, that you can buy some of my presets. But let's just get right into the meat and the potatoes of this. Here we go. So as you can see, this is one of the first shots I took. Actually, I stand corrected. That's actually not the. This is the shot right here. So when I took this shot, you know, as you saw in the video, I was like right there. I was like right up close and personal with this, and you know, I was very excited about this. But I want to point out a few things I really liked about this really quickly before we go on to the next photo. I like the fact that this is your focal point. You know, as a photographer, you really want to have that, you know, as your main focal point. And I love the fact that everything else is blurred out. You know, this is just, it's an amazing shot. I love it. And honestly, like I said, like I could probably turn this into some stock. I could probably sell this online for stock photos. And so without further ado, let's get on to the next video. I mean, next photo, if I can get the words out of my mouth. And so this is the second photo I took of using the 18-55mm lens. You know, it's of a statue at a local park here in the Davis County, Utah area where I live. And honestly, it was great. And again, I used a preset on this. This is something that, you know, was a preset that I constructed a long time ago, but I just felt like it really brought out everything, brought out the detail in the statue's fur. I can even zoom in, and you can just see that there's so much to this that I love. I love the fact that not only do you have the statue, but you have some blurred out. Again, this is your focal point. This is all blurred out, that's blurred out, because this is your center, your focal point. And I love that. I love the fact that, you know, my settings were just on par. They were on the game. Well, however you want to say it, that's how they were. And so yeah, I love that. And then I did a portrait view of this, and this is how that one turned out. Now, I wasn't as happy with this because, as you can saw, like I was like kind of leaning back, and you know, I can only bend backwards so far, so it's a little crooked. So I would probably go in here and I would probably, you know, straighten this up, angle it just right, and you can do that using this right here. I can easily just, you know, change it around, make it look a little bit better, but I'll worry about that another time. And so anyway, let's go back out to the field where we're gonna try the Nifty 50 lens, which I know you guys have been excited for, because after all, it is the meat and the potatoes of this video. So let's go out there.
So hopefully you got some enjoyment out of seeing those different shots that I took with the 18-55mm lens. Now, if you know me and you know this channel, there's a bit of an update. I'm really going to be focusing more on the tech side and the gear side on this channel, because I got a lot of responses from the what's in my camera bag. You know, it got a ton of views, which huge shout out to everyone that commented on it. But this is the lens that you guys have been waiting to see. This is the Canon 50mm, or as so many people like to call it, the Nifty 50. I did a short on it. I'll put an iCard up there so you guys can see that. But this camera is one of the best lenses that you'll ever buy, especially like if you want to get into portrait photography, like hands down one of the best ones. Like people will start taking more they'll start taking more seriously. It'll make you look more professional. Hopefully you will be professional, but it will also make you look professional. If I can get the words out of my mouth. I get tongue-tied quite a bit, as you can tell. Anyway, so, and then here's another quick tip. When you're going to put on a lens, never do it this way. Always aim your camera body down and then click it in, because if there's any dust, well, any dirt or anything will just fall out. So here we are. We have it on. It's on manual again, same f-stop, same ISO, same everything. So we're gonna go over, I'm gonna take a photo of the same flag, and we're gonna show you the difference. Now there is a little drawback with this one. You can't really zoom in with it, unfortunately, but like, it's fine. With this one, you'll see the image quality and you'll see why you don't really need to zoom in. But let me take this photo for you real quick. And all right, let me scoot back just a hair. Oh, this is gonna be perfect. Okay, so you can definitely tell that you can even tell. No, you're good. You can. I'll show you off in the later, like when we go back to the office here in a sec. But you can tell that it just looks amazing. Let's see if we can get a better angle out of that. Yeah, you can just see the difference between that and the last one. And so let's go back to that dog statue again, because I love dogs. They've always been my favorite animal. If you were to ask any of my family members, they'd say like, when I was a kid, I used to make dog noises because I didn't have a dog. So I just thought, I'm gonna make some dog noises. But you didn't need to know that. All right, so we're back at this awesome statue right here. Let me, let's see how limber I can get. Good. Okay. So obviously you can see that, like, and if I zoom in, you can just see the detail is just crisp. Really just crisp. And once I take that into Lightroom, it'll just turn out amazing. So let me zoom back out and see it. There it is again. And right now, I'm gonna go back to the office so I can show you those different photos. And I'm also, when we come back, my cameraman, I'm gonna give him the chance to take a few shots with my camera, which is actually something I don't normally do because I'm very protective of my gear, but I trust this guy with my life. And so let's go back to the office. I'll show you how these turned out, and we'll see you back here in a bit.
All right, welcome back to the office. Let's show you how these turned out. They turned out phenomenal. Like if there was pie, this would be the whipped cream on top of the pie. Like this just turned out amazing. Like I loved it. It was just, oh my gosh. Enough yakking. Let's just show you what it looks like. So as you can see, this one, you can already tell the difference. Like this is just, it's crisp, it's clean. The colors are amazing. You can even see the little threads right here. If I zoom in, there's those threads I was talking about. And there's another point I wanted to point out again, is that this is the focal point again. You know, everything else is blurred out, but this is the focal point. And that is what you want, especially if you're wanting to get into like portrait photography. You want your families, your couples, or your individual, whoever it is you're taking photos of, you want them to be the focal point. You don't want anything else being the focal point. You want everything else kind of blurred out. And so that's why I cannot emphasize enough that, you know, you got to make sure your settings are good, your ISO, your shutter speed, your white balance, everything that goes along with that. You got to make sure that they are on par. So let's go on to the next photo. And again, here it is. This is another great one. It's gorgeous to me. Like this is phenomenal. Like it's just amazing. Like I can't even describe how amazing this is. And you know, honestly, this was just me taking some easy shots with my Canon Rebel T6. I had the Nifty 50 lens on, and my settings were just on par. They were amazing. And again, if you were to zoom in on this, you can see that there's the threads. You can see the detail in the flag of the material of the flag. You can see the detail that there's a scratch right here that someone decided to just have fun with and scratch the light pole. But then let's go on to the next photo, which is of the dog. Now, I'm really proud of this one. I am so proud of this one because, again, the detail is just amazing. Like, I love this detail. Now, there's a few things I really do like. Again, I like the fact that the focal point is right here. It's the statue of the dog. I like that you still have, you know, some accents and some other stuff in the background, but they're all kind of blurred out because this is your main focal point. Now, if I zoom in on this, you can see the detail on this. You can really see, like, you can see his eyes, you can see the nose, you can even see the nostril holes. You can see that the word dog, you can see the American flag. Like, this is just, it turned out to be such a great shot. I'll probably end up even submitting this to this city that I took these shots to, because I'm sure they would like to have this in the future. But without further ado, let's get back out in the field, because I'm like I said in the video, I'm giving my friend Aaron, or Kildare as he's known on YouTube, a chance to use my camera with taking some photos with the 50 millimeter or the Nifty 50 lens, and let's see what he does. So I'll see you back here in a little while.
Hello, apparently it's my turn. Well, everybody, welcome back here. My famous line. So now I'm going to be doing a couple of shots with his Nifty 50 as well. I'm more of someone who takes photos of environments and like landscape shots. This has always been one of my favorite subjects for some reason. It always looks like something out of a Halloween or a horror movie, which, that being my biggest theme, I always come down here for some pretty cool shots. So of course I'm also shooting in manual mode as well. And you know, I kind of like to get a nice perspective shot, something that kind of makes it seem a lot longer than it actually is, right? So I'll get down a little bit more. And sometimes I like to do this, but you know, a lot of times you kind of just want to go straight on like that. Raise up just a little. Okay, and like he said, you can't really zoom in with this one, which is a little bit something that you'll have to kind of get used to, but I think that it works out just fine. I don't know if you're going to be able to see much.
Oh, that's going to look great.
Yeah, I think since you're the mastermind behind it all, you get this sucker into like you know, like Lightroom or Photoshop, you'll definitely be able to make sure that you can get some nice colorage out of it. You did have a little bit of the sunset coming in, which is nice.
Which is always good.
Yeah, right? So
yeah.
Anyway.
So let's go back to the office, and then I will conclude here in a little bit, and so we'll be back.
Sounds like fun. There you go.
All right, so let's show you what Kildare, or as I call him, Aaron, but everyone knows him as Kildare25 on YouTube. But let's see what he got, because these turned out amazing. I'm gonna actually be giving these to him. I'm gonna be emailing them to him so he can display them, show them off, do whatever he wants with them. But let's get right into it. And so as you can see, Aaron, he actually did a really good job. And you know, there's a few things I really like about this. I love the detail, like especially right here on the bridge, you can see so much detail, and that's one of the main things I love. But the biggest thing that I love the most about this is that it has leading lines. Everything is leading right to a point. Now, as a photographer, this is essential, especially if you're wanting to do landscape shots, because you want to have those leading lines. You know, I cannot emphasize that enough. When I have looked at photos of landscape shots, and if they didn't have any leading lines to where they were heading, I was kind of turned off from them. I'm going to be honest with you. And that's not to bash those who took those photos, because I'm sure that they're excellent photographers, and I'm not bashing on them at all. You know, that's not what we do here in the Lock Nation. We encourage people to, you know, get out there and improve their skill. But I also love the fact that, you know, the sun was setting, and you could see some texture of the sunlight right here on the bridge, on the trees. And I love the fact that even after the bridge, you still have the leading lines. You know, this is such an amazing shot. But that being said, let's go on to the next one. Let's go on to the next photo that Aaron took. Now, again, this is of the same shot, but here again, I love the leading lines. I love the leading lines so much. So Kildare25, or as I call him, Aaron, you did a phenomenal job on this, and you will be getting these on an email from me so that you can have them, you can display them, put them on a frame, do whatever you want with them. But I love the detail. You can even see the little rust spot. I can zoom in right here. You can see the little rust spot where that, and that's just such a cool little excerpt or detail. I love the fact that you can even see the detail right here on this tree, which is so cool to me. I love that when you can see these little I like to call them like little Easter eggs if you know that, that's a movie term for like different things for like comic book movies, but that to me, that's an Easter egg. I love it. It's so cool. It's so cool and it's so amazing. But with that being said, guys, like this is just, he did a phenomenal job. And a little fun fact about Killdeer 25 is that he's actually a photographer himself. He has been doing quite a bit of photography in the past. And I'll actually put an iCard up there so you guys can see like where we reacted to some TikTok photography. But without further ado, let's go back to the park.
All right, so as you can see, this is just like a demonstration of what the difference is between the 18 to 55 millimeter lens and the Nifty 50. So I will put a link to both lenses in the description below. I would highly recommend that you, obviously, of course, number one, get the Nifty 50 lens. Like, you can get them refurbished. Like I said, I have that little short that I talked about where they cost anywhere from like 130 to about, I can't remember. It's at least $130 that you're looking to pay for one that's new. But there's a series that's going to be coming up that I'm very excited for. Are you guys ready for this? The series is called Chasing Light. You guys know I love taking photos of sunsets. I've shown a few different ones and a few different videos of the same ones, but Chasing Light is going to be a series that I'm going to be doing in a multi-part series where I'm going to be taking photos. I'm going to be taking you guys along with me, and Killdeer, if he wants to come along. We're going to be taking photos of different sunsets, and then I'm going to take you through the editing process. This is something I've been excited for. When we were talking about this, he's like, that'd be a great idea, and that's actually his idea. He's like, you know, you always bring up those 2 or 3 sunset shots that you do. He's like, but you know, boots on the ground. There's that quote again, boots on the ground.
More photos.
I need more sunset shots, and who doesn't like sunset shots? So look forward to that. And then honestly, like, if you guys got value out of this, make sure you go check out Aaron's YouTube channel. I'll put a link to it right there. And then I can't even talk all of a sudden. And then if you really like this video, then go check out this video right here where I talk to you about the differences between Lightroom and Lightroom Classic. I'll see you over there.